What's up, Miss Fife? This is my Supreme Court cases project. Um, so let's get into it. Oh gosh. I'm Liv Ingersoll. I'm in second period. And I got Obergefell versus Hodges. And it was, the final ruling was June 26, 2015. That's the date I wrote. Let's get into it. So who was involved? Obviously Jim Obergefell and his husband, I think, John Arthur. And then Richard Hodges, he was the defendant. And then Judge Timothy Black. There was like a lot of judges on there. I put the main one. And the defendant was Rick Hodges, an American politician who served as the director of the Ohio Department of Health from 2014 to 2017. Yeah. And he was a member of the Ohio House of Representatives. He's from there. And the plaintiff was James Obergefell, obviously. He was a civil rights, he is a civil rights activist. And the case was brought to the United States Supreme Court to determine if the 14th Amendment requires all states to license same-sex marriage and recognize lawful same-sex marriage before the court of law. The perceived injustice was that state bans on same-sex marriage and the refusal to recognize legal same-sex marriages reform in other areas. They just didn't recognize it. So the Supreme Court addressed whether these were unlawful towards the 14th Amendment, the due process and equal protection clauses. The social injustice, the exclusion of same-sex couples from the institution of marriage, which resulted in the denial of fundamental rights, benefits, and legal recognition afforded to the opposite-sex couples. They didn't have that stuff. It really sucked. It's really rude. Okay, next slide. There are no pictures. I'm sorry, there were too many sentences to put, which were all necessary. You get the gist. Which amendment? The 14th Amendment. That's the one right there. The legal concepts that the case was based on is primarily based on the due process clause and, like I said, the equal protection clause. The court, they determined that it was a fundamental right and that they were recognized by the court of law even if it was done somewhere else, like, I don't know, in another country where it was allowed. And that and that not allowing them denies them liberty, individual autonomy, and equal protection in the law, which is not okay. The ban was overturned, obviously, as I said, and the majority opinion was the ban being lifted. There were, like, I was reading the thing, like 3 of them who refused, dissented against the, yeah. And how the case changed, it changed the lives for queer people because they finally were allowed to recognize under the law, which supposedly protected them, but so far didn't allow them to legally become family or be recognized as a true peoples under the amendments. Yes. The cultural ramifications were like, it made them more accepted, because before that, they hated them so much. People did. It was terrible and horrible. It still is terrible and horrible, but now, like, you kind of have to realize that they exist around you, because guess what? They can get married. So, suck it. The case, has the case been revisited or revised? It hasn't been revised, but someone did try and take it all the way to court to get it revised or overturned again, but they turned it away the second that it got there, because they're cool like that, I guess. And the final ruling was on June 26th of 2015, although it was like there for the entire month of June, really, but it was finally overturned on June 26th, and that's my Supreme Court case presentation on Obergefell versus Hodges, the court case that overturned gay marriage. Thank you.